Yeah, it's a game plan that a lot of MLB teams have started to implement too, right? Not necessarily with one inning, but okay, perfect. And let's go up. We're gonna have to. Okay, cool. Yeah. There we go. I like that. Yeah, because it's shot right back at the lights, right? Rio? That one swung on and just over the head of Morrow into the outfield. And Rio is aboard. That will be a broken bat single for Ryan Rio. Malik Williams now hitting in the 4-hole. We'll try to emulate what Rio was just able to do. One batter to go. One on, two out, top of one. Shred delivers and another first pitch strike. The 0-1 now with Williams, the first right-handed batter that Shred has faced this evening. That one misses for ball one. The count is now even at 1-1. That one misses outside, so Williams ahead, 2-1 now. That one tip foul, evens the count at 2-2. Shred now just getting set here. Deep exhale and delivers, misses, count runs full, 3-2. Rio over at first, not looking like any sort of threat to steal, hasn't taken quite the lead at all. But will be off with the pitch, a 3-2 count with two gone. Rio will be on the move. And he goes. That one popped fairly high and deep to center. Pompey under it. Makes the catch at the wall and takes one away from Williams. Dalton Pompey bringing Hastings Stadium to their feet and bringing the top of the first to a loud end. This game still tied. We take a break and we'll be back with the bottom of the first. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium. Well, the man who just brought this crowd to their feet makes his way to the plate. Dalton Pompey will lead off for the Royals after taking one away from Malik Williams and the Barrie Baycats to end the first inning. And that pitch is a called strike to start the at-bat here in the bottom of the first. Pompey swinging on the second pitch. He sees that one pulled down the first baseline. Pompey thinking about two, but decides to hang back at first, and again, bringing the crowd to their feet, hands together, and a Pompey chant started already.
The second baseman, number 2, Connor Morrow.
Connor Morrow will look to follow up on what Dalton Pompey was just able to do and get to Evan Sewells quickly. So it was a 2-pitch at bat for Pompey. So we'll see what Morrow does. Morrow finding his swing of late. Sewells checks Pompey and then misses outside for ball number 1. The 1-0. Morrow fouled him up and behind home plate. And catcher James Anderson kind of looked at the home plate umpire and said, nah, I'm not going to play that one. Well out of play. So now they count 2-1. Or excuse me, 1-2. Excuse me, check that count, 1-1. Connor Morrow remains in the batter's box, and Pompey had a throw over from Sewells as we get our wires uncrossed up here in the press box. That one misses. Now the count is 2-1. That one misses high, 3-1. Morrow doing a good job of making Sewells hit the strike zone. We will see what the Royals try to do with this pitch here. Pompey with a ton of speed at first. Morrow can really pull the ball when called upon. That one misses, so Morrow happily takes a walk. And that will bring up Sean Riley.
And then the hitter, number 33, Sean Riley.
With 2 aboard and no one out, the home run king of the IBL will take his time coming to the plate, but will likely make it worth the wait. So Riley now about set with digging in, and you know the heart rate of Evan Sewells on the Barrie mound may have just jumped by a few beats per minute. Sean Riley, first pitch swinging, may have chased that one, and that one hit to right field, and an easy out, number 1. Caught by Brad McQuinn. There in that scenario is one where you might want Riley just to lay off and make Sewells kind of defeat himself in that at bat, but Riley elected to go right after him and will likely want that one back. Here is Malik Collymore to follow now. That one misses. Collymore ahead 1-0. The 1-0, Collymore hits it high in the infield fly. Home plate umpire James Lyles calls infield fly, and that one caught for out number 2. And that brings up J.D. Williams, who has done everything he's been asked to do in the batter's box this season, and even more so with runners in scoring position. So maybe exactly the guy you want coming up for Dino Romello's team with 2 gone here and 2 on. That one in there for strike number 1. Sewells misses on that one, so now the count even at 1. And at least one young fan tries to encourage the Royals here and bring some hands together. And Williams resets with Sewells checking back at Pompey, who takes off for third. It's a double steal. Pompey in there at third, and Morrow in at second. A textbook double steal from Dino Romello's team, and now all of a sudden runners at second and third with a 2-2 count. Or 2-1 count, excuse me. That one misses to make it 3-1. And now Sewell's with the luxury of having first base open, but should he concede to J.D. Williams, Ethan Hammond would be up next. Williams could not hold back on that one, but it was, I believe, a called strike, so now the count is full. Williams fouls that one off, doing a good job of protecting the strike zone. So we will reset here. And that is a called strike 3, and Nathan Sewell's just getting himself out of the jam with no damage done. That brings us through the first inning. No score here at Hastings Stadium. We are back at Hastings Stadium with the catcher James Anderson coming to the plate to face Nelson Mercado, who came in relief of Darren Shred, who went 1-2-3 in the first inning. 1-2-3-4, giving up just one hit. First pitch strike from Nelson brings the hands together and gets him ahead in the count. Remember, he did start 7 days ago against the Welland Jackfish and had a real hard time getting ahead in counts. So, first pitch strikes, a welcome sign. That one popped foul down the first base line and caught by Justin Interessano.
Shortstop number 14, Owen Jansen.
So Owen Jansen now comes to the plate after Interessano recorded out number 1. Now coming into this one, Nelson Mercado had pitched just 12 1/3 innings and had given up 10 earned runs. So maybe not efficient as Nelson would like to get started, but a good start in this baseball game nonetheless. That one chopped down the first base line foul for strike number 1. Mercado dealing. That one swung on. Macaulay Moore makes the snag and had to double clutch and could not get Jansen in time, who is aboard with a infield single. Collymore showing the boots, but unfortunately that ball got caught up in his glove and wasn't able to make the transfer in time to get Jansen for out number 2. Brendan Cawley follows, now hitting in the 7th hole in Barrie's lineup. Barrie in that log jam near the top of the IBL standings, sitting in 3rd at 9-6. They've won 3 straight, whereas the Royals come home after losing as losers of 3 straight. So a tale of 2 different teams here. Jansen runs on the pitch, but he'll have to retreat. A infield pop-up and gets crossed up. Collymore makes the catch. Maybe not as easy as it should have been, but that was fun to watch. And with that, now Brad McQuinn, the right fielder, coming in to try to get to Nelson Mercado with Jansen still at first. First pitch strike from Nelson Mercado. The 0-1. Throwing over, and Interessano knows that they got him. Jansen picked off at first by Mercado to Interessano. That brings us through the top of 2, scoreless between Barrie and the Royals. back at Hastings Stadium for the top, or the bottom rather, of the second inning, with Ethan Hammond to lead off for the Royals. So a pair of highlight reel catches through each of the first two innings for the Royals. Dalton Pompey to bring the top of the first to an end. Malik Collymore making that over the head, behind the back, closed eyes, wrong-handed infield fly catch. And then Justin Terrasano was the one who ended up picking off Jansen at first after Marcado made a great move over to pick off his man. That one missed and came inside on Hammond for the first ball of the at-bat in the first pitch. So 1-0 Morrow, or Hammond, excuse me. 2-0 now. Nathan Sewell's had to be looking at this, or Evan Sewell's, excuse me, had to be looking at this Royals lineup today saying, why me? It hasn't been all that often. The only guy missing from the everyday lineup that Dino Ramel would love to throw out on the field is Josh Garton. So for once in a while, this Royals lineup seems to be all back together, save Josh Garton. So Sewell's with a tall task ahead of him, and he has responded well in the early going. Hammond swings at that one and uppercuts it to center field, right into sunshine. Catch made, out number one recorded.
First baseman number 24, Justin Terrasano.
And that will bring up Guelph's favorite son, Justin Terrasano, as always, exchanging pleasantries with the home plate umpire and the opposing catcher. And then we'll soon dig in to face Sewell's. First pitch strike from Evan Sewell's, and a good one. Terrasano sounds like he broke the bat on that one, and that might have cost him a base hit as it kind of lazily flew out to shallow center field, and the catch was made by Jake Wilson.
Catch number 22, Noah Roberts.
And Noah Roberts, who is behind home plate for the Royals this evening, now comes to the plate, hitting in the 8th hole. He will be followed by Brando LaRue. First pitch strike from Sewell's, who is just really not flinching against this Royals lineup so far. Roberts chops one to second. Should be an easy out, number 3, and it is. And that will make quick work of the Royals here in the bottom of the second inning. 1, 2, 3, they go. And off to break we go. We'll be back with the top of the third. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium on the first night of summer as Brad McQuinn makes his way to the batter's box to get the top of the third underway. Nelson Mercado still on the mound for the Royals after a very good second inning, which was his first of the game after Darren Shred started for the Royals. That a first pitch strike as McQuinn was showing bunt, and it was tipped down for strike number one. That one inside. McQuinn showing off his fancy footwork, and that will even the count at 1-1. The 1-1, McQuinn swinging over to left and tracking and gone. That one with a one-way. Pardon me, that one is ruled a ground rule double. I am good for one of those missed calls a game. So a man at second. So a man at second, no outs now. And after we get everything sorted up here, that will bring Mike Dewin to the plate. Dewin, the shortstop. Or excuse me, the first baseman. That one fouled off for the first strike of the at-bat. And Dewin actually playing second base tonight. And that is strike number two. McQuinn takes off, strike him out, throw him out, got him! Bang, bang! That brings the Hastings crowd to their feet and gets us 2/3 of the way through the top half of the third inning. A great execution of the strike him out, throw him out by Mercado, Roberts, and Collymore. Strike one from Mercado. Jake Wilson back to the plate. He was down on strikes in his first at-bat, and that one just inside for a ball. So after a strikeout against Darren Shred, we'll see if Mercado can emulate exactly that. That one swung on and hit a bunch. That will stay in play, and Williams makes the catch and gets the Royals out of the top of the third with no damage done. We have no score here through 3.5 through the top of 3 innings at Hastings Stadium. Brandel LaRue making his way to the plate to kick off the bottom of the third. It's been pretty quiet offensively so far in this ball game, but LaRue hitting 9, that will turn the order over for the Royals after he is done at the plate. So we might see some offense finally get going here in the bottom of the third. A first pitch ball to LaRue from Sewells. That one also misses high according to home plate umpire James Lyles. LaRue hits high to left field. That one being tracked and caught for the first out of the bottom of the third. That, however, does bring back Dalton Pompey to the plate.
Number 32, Dalton Pompey.
Pompey with a single in this game, as well as a loud out number 3 to start this game in the top of the third inning. Will look to add to that noise. First pitch bounces in the dirt for a ball. Pompey slices that one right into the Barrie dugout. A hot shot that seemed to miss just about everyone standing there, but none of them saw it coming. So fortunate Baycats. And the count 1-1. Now 1-2, or 2-1 rather. Three and one. The 3-1 to Pompey from Sewells. Misses high, and that puts Dalton aboard. So Pompey, a single and a base on balls to get started here. Connor Morrow due up next, and he will be followed by Sean Riley should we get that far. We'll see how the rest of these at-bats unfold. Morrow took a base on balls in his first at-bat, got all the way to the second before being stranded there. Riley was first pitch swinging and flew out to the right fielder in his first plate appearance. So Sewell's doing a good job of keeping the Royals kind of at bay. And for the Baycats, bending but not breaking. That one misses for ball number 1. The 1-0 chop by Morrow. Pompey into second easily, and Morrow showing his foot speed, but about a half a step, not fast enough. He is gunned down at first base for the second out of the inning. And that brings back to the plate Sean Riley, who was, as mentioned, first pitch swinging in his first at bat. So we'll see if he is a little more patient this go around. Pompey at second. Would be good of him to keep Sewells with one eye on him. Riley takes that one for a borderline strike, number 1 on the outside part of the plate. Pompey at second. Riley ahead in the count. Behind in the count, strike 1, excuse me. Chops at that one for the second strike of the at-bat. Sewells waiting. Riley's still kind of getting set in the batter's box. Time called. And that will allow us all to reset and do it again here as Riley takes a step out and, as he's always done, re-enters in the exact same way. Very superstitious batter, Sean Riley. Riley reaches for one and pokes it to left field, but it is caught. That one looked like it might have had a small chance to land off the bat, but nonetheless, we are through 3 innings with no score here at Hastings Stadium. And the Barrie Baycats strike first in this ball game in the top of the fourth, and all of a sudden Nelson Mercado finds himself in a bit of a jam with one on and no outs here and a run already across home plate. That one misses outside. So Ryu at second after Noel McGarry Doyle scored, and Malik Williams at the plate. That one may have broken his bat or just come off the tip of the knob and not quite enough to get past Connor Morrow, who makes the easy throw over to Justin Terrasano. But at the same time, Ryan Ryu advances to third. So now a runner at third with one out.
Catcher number 34, James Anderson.
And James Anderson to the plate. One on, one out. Mercado delivers. Misses for ball one. The 1-0, Ryu making a slight little jog just in the peripherals of Mercado towards home, but no real conviction with that one. That one misses for the second ball of the at-bat, so 2-0 we are. That one low for ball number 3. The 3-0, and you have to think Anderson will just watch that one come into the strike zone, and it does. Now 3-1. That one finds the strike zone to run the count full. That one fouled off the tip of the bat, and we will do it again. Owen Jansen due up next. Jansen was picked off after reaching with a single in his last at-bat. That one chopped. Mercado can't come up with it, and that ball just had eyes. It owed James Patterson a favor, and they are now even. That baseball kind of squirted left and then right and found its way into no man's land. Now 2 runners aboard with Anderson at first, Ryu at third, and Jansen at the plate. First pitch swinging for a strike that's fouled well behind the third baseline. So Jansen behind the count, runners on the corners. Ryan Ryu seems to have been at third for forever and a day at this point. That one, a great pitch from Nelson Mercado for strike number 2. Jansen collects his thoughts and is now ready to go back in the box. Mercado shakes off Roberts a few times, then checks over his left shoulder at first, is now ready to go. Delivers. That one foul back, and Jansen stays alive. Anderson at first with a generous lead. Thinking about going, but good thing he stayed put. Owen Jansen sits down on 3 strikes. Mercado rings him up for out number 2. That one high and misses. 1-0. Mercado checks Anderson over his left shoulder. That's at first. Ryu is at third. That one misses for ball number 2. That one misses well outside, so now 3-0. That will get in there for a strike, and Brendan Colley now 3-1 with Nelson Mercado. Mercado comes in there, and that one gets McCauley to strike, and now the count is full. Mercado sets and delivers. That misses for a ball, and that will load him up here in the top of the 4th at Hastings Stadium.
Right fielder number 47, Brad McQuinn.
And Brad McQuinn, the number 8 hitter, with a whole lot of opportunity here to blow this one wide open. Barrie with already 1 across in this inning and a 1-0 lead. Would love to tack on to that, but 2 outs gives the Royals lots of options. Is this ball not hit very hard or high? So a short conversation between Dino Ramel, Nelson Mercado, and Noah Roberts at the mound. Mercado remains in the game, and Brad McQuinn comes to the plate looking to tack on to the 1 run that Barrie has already been able to manufacture in this inning. And I said it a couple pitches ago, but Ryan Ryu must own some land on third base by now with the amount of time he spent out there. That one fouled over the Royals dugout and out of play. So Mercado ahead in the count, 0-1. Here is the second pitch, and that one misses low. The 1-1. Right to Morrow at second, over to Interessano at first, and the Royals get out of it, allowing just 1 run in the top of the 4th inning. We will take a quick break and be back with the bottom half of 4 after this.
Collymore.
Back at Hastings Stadium, Guelph with a 1-run deficit to erase that could have been much worse. Had Nelson Mercado not been able to get out of that inning with a ground ball to Connor Morrow to end it with the bases juiced. And here is Collymore now back to the plate. Sewell still in this game for Barrie and throws a first pitch strike. That one misses outside to even up the count at 1-1. The 1-1 from Sewell's, and that one fouled off by Collymore. Now 1-2. Collymore flew out in his first at bat, so offense that has been so abundant here in Hastings Stadium through the first few games may have dried up here on the first night of summer. Collymore pokes one to right. That'll be a base hit, and maybe more. On his horse, going to second, and in there. Great show of foot speed by Collymore. He was thinking 2 all the way.
The right fielder, number 9, J.D. Williams.
J.D. Williams, who is hitting 5th tonight, is just a part of this heart of the Royals lineup that has a whole bunch of speed. Collymore and Williams, followed by Hammond, and to lead it off with Dalton Pompey hitting first. It's a fast lineup that has power and can get on you quickly, and a 1-0 lead is far from safe if you're Barrie in this ball game. Collymore fouls the first pitch he sees back. Williams now with Sewell's ready to go, just about taking an extended peek at Collymore. Bit of a staring contest at this point, and Sewell's will step off. It looked like he was about to turn and fire, and Collymore just kept inching and inching and inching out there at second base, but just kind of had his bluff called. And then Williams, as Sewell's does a good job of getting Collymore out of his head and focusing on Williams. Williams was probably banking on the fact that Sewell's might not have been fully focused on him at the plate, but an 0-2 now. Collymore takes off. High inside pitch. And a great throw. But Collymore able to get in there at third on his feet. So a stolen bag from Malik Collymore after the leadoff double. Fantastic opportunity for the Royals to tie this game here now with Collymore at third and no one out. Williams slices one behind home plate, foul, and that might have been the first window break of the season. The 1-2 now. Collymore at third. Williams swinging. That one back up the middle, but caught by the shortstop. Owen Jansen making that play look easy. Great positioning, great foot speed, and got right on his toes to record out number 1. So that's how you do it if you're the Barrie Baycats, with a good runner at third and no one out. You make sure that ball doesn't get outside of the infield. Ethan Hammond now back to the plate. He flew out in his first at bat as well. So, as so many other Royals have in this game, flying out against Evan Sewell's. That one, a great first pitch of the at bat for a strike. And Sewell's, who may have come into this game with nightmares about the lineup, has done nothing but prove them wrong so far here through 4 1/3. Excuse me, in the bottom of 4, 1/3 gone. A second pitch strike, and it is now 0-2. Evan Sewell's ahead in the count against Ethan Hammond. The 0-2 misses high for ball number 1. The 1-2 now as the sun has set. Still very hot and humid here in Hastings Stadium. That one evens the count at 2-2. A very humid first day of summer, and the clouds have obviously provided some relief from the sun, but thick air, so we'll see if the ball refuses to fly quite as often as it has in games past. Hammond gets a hold of that one, but fouled on the left field line and out of play. Collymore still over there at third, and Hammond now with one gone and a 2-2 count from Sewell's dealing inside and did a good job of somehow matrixing his way out of the path of the ball as it somehow missed him. The count full, though. The payoff pitch here from Sewell's. Hammond swings at it, got all of it to center field, but maybe whatever all of it was not enough. Collymore tags and will be in there to tie this game safely. So Ethan Hammond doing what he needed to do in that at-bat. Manufacturer run. He got all of the pitch he wanted, but it just kind of seemed to stall out there in shallow center field. And now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Justin Interessano to the plate. Interessano swings at the first pitch he sees. That one hit high and deep and at the wall, just short. That one needed just a bit more of a push from the wind to get out of the park, but stays in safely and brings the 4th inning to an end. Not before the Royals were able to tie this game at 1 through 4. It is 1-1. Back at Hastings Stadium for the top of the 5th inning. We are tied at 1 between the Baycats and the Guelph Royals. Mike Dewin leading off, and that is a first pitch strike from Nelson Marcado. And now with one gone here, we are back to the top of the order for the Baycats. Jake Wilson back to the plate. 0 for 2 in this game, a strikeout and a flyout, and behind 0-1 early in this count. That one just misses outside and low for a ball, so 1-1. Ball 2 there. That one now the third straight one that's missed the zone, so 3-1 the count. And you have to assume that Wilson will just lay off this one regardless. And good to do so as it bounces for ball number 4. And that will send Wilson to the first base with old Gary Doyle back to the plate. Gary Doyle singled and later scored in his last plate appearance. That was back in the 4th inning, so just 1 inning ago. That one a first pitch strike. Mercado checking on Wilson over at first a few times and now deals. That one swung and hit well, but foul for strike number 2. The 0-2 misses for ball number 1. So the count now 2-1 with Noel McGarry Doyle at the plate and Jake Wilson over at first base. We'll see if he tries to extend that lead and get the attention of Nelson Mercado, who is doing a great job of finding the strike zone in this baseball game. And as I say, that one misses for ball number 2. Mercado, if you remember, 7 days ago against the Well and Jackfish, did not have a start to remember. Was chased from that game quite early, and the Jackfish really beat up on the Royals in what was a well over 3.5-hour game, actually 3 hours and 47 minutes officially. So it was a lot of base runners and base hits and stolen bases and walks, and Mercado unfortunately was the victim of most of those, as that one misses. The count now full, 3-2 with Wilson at first. And the Royals all of a sudden, after losing 3 straight, have found their way out of that log jam for second place in the IBL. Wilson takes off, and Mercado wears that one off his midsection, able to keep his composure, run over to first, and record the out over to Justin Terrasano. But not before Wilson made his way to second base, and Mercado has a tattoo to remember it by. And that will bring Dino Romel out to the mound to have a discussion with most of the infield, actually. Most of the infield and actually all of the umpires who came over to check. They'll let Mercado throw a few pitches to make sure that he is indeed still good to go. And even after the first one, he gave the thumbs up to the umpires saying, yeah, I'm good, but he'll take another. So Ryan will come back to the plate. He's 2 for 2 and seemed to be stranded at third for what seemed to be an eternity back in the 4th inning, but was stranded there, excuse me. And will look to drive in Wilson, who stands at second base. Royal swings hard at that first pitch. Collymore calls everyone else off, makes the catch, and that will bring the top of the 5th inning to an end. Halfway through 5, we are tied at 1 at Hastings Stadium. Noah Roberts to lead off the bottom half of the 5th inning here in a tie ball game, 1-1. With Evan Sewell still on the mound, and that one fouled off the leg of the Royals catcher, and he will limp it off and make his way back to the plate after shooting himself in the foot, part of the metaphor. Swings on the 0-1 and turns on it, and that ball gone! A one-way ticket to out of here! Noah Roberts breaks the tie! That ball pulled, hit high and hard, and I think everyone in the stands knew, unless the wind got a hold of it, it was gone, and Roberts jogs around all 4 bases and comes home to give his team the lead. And that brings up Brando LaRue, the 9-hitter. LaRue, first pitch, a ball. LaRue gets a hold of that one, but it's popped very high into the sky, and catch made for out number 1.
Center fielder, number 32, Dalton Pompey.
And that will bring Dalton Pompey back to the plate. He is 1 for 1 in this ball game. Was walked in his second plate appearance, so has had Sewell's number all night long. We'll see if he can add to that here in his 3rd plate appearance of the evening. Guelph already with a run here in the bottom of the 5th. That one bounces and He will be scored a wild pitch and will be the first strike of the at-bat. The 0-1 misses. Oh, excuse me. Catches the inside part of the outside of the plate and is a strike. So the 1-1 foul back, and now a 1-2 count. The 1-2, Pompey pokes it foul, and we'll do it again. One and two the count. Pompey resets. Sewell waiting for him. The delivery, Pompey fouls it back yet again and visibly frustrated. Missed that one by maybe an inch or two. Count remains the same, 1-2. The 1-2 delivered. Pompey pokes that one to short and catch made for out number 2. Back to the plate, Connor Morrow now.
Second baseman number 2, Connor Morrow.
Morrow reached by way of base on balls in the first inning and then grounded out to short in his second at-bat. So he will look to try to add to what has been an okay evening at the plate and register his first hit of the game. That one in there for strike number 1. The 0-1. Fouled off. Morrow quickly behind 0-2, and Sewell a strike away from getting through 5 here against this deadly Royals lineup with minimal damage caused. That one floats just outside of the zone, and a collective gasp taken by the Hastings crowd, but strike not called, ball called, and a 1-2 count now. Morrow slaps that one back to center. That should find a hole, and it does. Morrow turns for 2. The throw coming in won't be in time. So sliding into second safely is Connor Morrow. A 2-out double and keeps the bottom of the 5th inning alive. And cue Sean Riley.
Designated hitter number 33, Sean Riley.
Riley, 2 forgettable at-bats in this game. A couple flyouts. The first one, a first pitch flyout, and then waited a couple more pitches in his second plate appearance to do pretty much the same thing, and will look to bring this crowd to their feet here with one fell swoop of the bat against Evan Sewell. Sewell steps off knowing that the importance of this at-bat. 2 are gone. It's a 2-1 game. You've already given up 1 home run in this inning. You really don't want to let Riley extend it with any sort of extra base hit. First pitch outside, bounces, but does not get away from the catcher, James Anderson. So a 1-0 count now. Riley redigs in. Morrow well off second base. Doing a good job of maybe dividing the attention of Evan Sewell, and who does decide to throw back to the plate. And didn't quite get him, and the Royals dugout letting Sewell have it. Riley now has just faced 1 pitch in this at bat. It's been a ball, so ahead 1-0. That one misses as well. 2-0. 2-0, and again, Mora well off the plate out at second. And I mean well off the plate. Riley swings, just missed that one and pops it up to first for out number 3. And that will bring the 5th inning to a close. Noah Roberts goes deep and gives the Royals the lead. We are off to a break and we'll be back with the 6th inning. Malik Williams at the plate now to lead off the top of the 6th inning for the Baycats, who are looking to erase the run that Noah Roberts was able to manufacture by way of a solo shot in the bottom of the 5th. And that a first pitch strike from Nelson Mercado, the 62nd pitch of his evening. That one misses to even the count at 1-1. Williams 0 for 2 in this ball game, looking to change that with one swing, and LaRue gets to it quickly, fires over to first, 6-3 put out. A great seamless play from Brandel LaRue to get over to second, cover some ground, and then make no mistake with the transfer and hit Interessano dead center of the glove for out number 1 here in the top of the 6th inning. And now James Anderson back to the plate. Catcher's been busy tonight behind the Barrie plate, but at the plate for himself, 1 for 2. Has a single where he was left stranded at second later in that inning. That was back in the 4th. And that one, a first pitch ball. Mercado now with the 1-0. That one hit high by Anderson and not very deep, and Connor Morrow calls everyone off for out number 2.
Shortstop number 14, Owen Jansen.
Owen Jansen now to the plate. He was picked off early in this game. After hitting a single, he was thrown out to end the 2nd inning and then struck out his next time up. So Jansen will look to make up for that pickoff and look to try to tie this game or at least keep this top half of the 6th alive as Nelson just a bit outside. That one slipped well out of his hand, and thankfully no one on base for the Baycats in that scenario. Otherwise, everyone would have advanced 90 feet or more. That one cut on but just a bit early by Jansen. He got all of that one and ripped it down the first base line, but foul. Jansen pops that one up to Interessano, tracking it, calling everyone off, and makes the catch for out number 3. 1, 2, 3, go the Baycats in the top of the 6th inning.
The Baycats in the 6th inning, there was nothing across.
Royals lead 2-1 halfway through 6.
Getting out the home half of the 6th inning for the Royals, the third baseman, number 35, Malik Cullymore.
Back for the bottom of the 6th inning, Malik Cullymore to get things started for the Royals, who have a 2-1 lead. Evan Sewells remains in the game for the Baycats. First pitch strike from Sewells to get ahead in the count. The 0-1 in there for a strike. The 0-2 now. That one misses low for ball number 1. So Cullymore doing a good job of not chasing. Swinging at that one and lands on the roof of Hastings Stadium. 1-2, the count remains. That one chopped to second and on to first, and that will be out number 1. And that will bring up J.D. Williams. Ethan Hammond also due up this inning. He will follow, and should it go any longer than that, Interessano, Roberts, who homered last inning, and LaRue will round out the 9 hitters of the order. And Williams back to the plate. He did not register hitting his last at bat. He's 0 for 2. That one quickly on the ground to short and over to first. 6-3 for out number 2.
Left fielder, number 28, Ethan Hammond.
Ethan Hammond makes his way to the plate again, and he did sack fly out back in the 4th inning that scored Malik Cullymore. So Hammond with an RBI in this ball game. He flew out in his other plate appearance, so 0 for 1 with an RBI. That one bounces, and it looks like it took quite the route back right towards us here in the broadcast booth, but netting there for that exact reason. So 1-0 the count here With 2 gone in the bottom of the 6th, Sewells delivers. That one finds the zone for strike number 1. The 1-1 now comes inside on Hammond for ball number 2. A gorgeous night. A bit of a cool breeze rolling in here to Hastings Stadium to cut that humidity and make it a little less, or a little more bearable, I guess. I don't want to say less unbearable, but 3-1 the count now. Out of town scoreboard check, one other game going on in the IBL. The Hamilton Cardinals lead the London Majors 6-5 in the bottom of the 4th inning in London. So the Majors, who have just been running over the Royals of late, are finally maybe meeting their match at home against Hamilton. We will have a quick visit to the mound from just about all of the Baycats infielders as well as their manager, and it looks like it might be the end of Sewell's evening, and it is, and the ball handed over, and congratulations and shows and respect shown, and we will take a quick break as we figure out who will come in relief for Sewell's here in the bottom of the 6th. So Aiden Roselle comes into the game for Evan Sewells, and Terrasano comes back to the plate. Terrasano flew high and deep out to right in his last plate appearance. So he's been making good contact with the ball, but not finding anywhere for it to land so far in this ball game. 0 for 2 in Terrasano, with Hammond at first taking off on the first pitch of Roselle's evening, and Hammond in there safely with a stolen bag to get Roselle's evening underway. That pitch missed the strike zone, so it is a 1-0. With Hammond at second base after the steal. Terrasano chops one foul. 1-1 now the count. Regathering himself outside of the batter's box is in Terrasano, and now looks satisfied and ready to go. The 1-1 from Roselle. And Terrasano laces it and finds the gap. Hammond around third and will be coming in to score shortly. And does. That is a 2-out RBI single for Justin and Terrasano to extend the Royals' lead to 3-1. And Noah Roberts back to the plate. All he did in his last appearance was go deep. So now a 3-1 Royals game. And Roberts with a real chance that if he can find a way to get to Roselle like he did to Sewells, blow this one wide open here in the bottom of the sixth. That one misses high for ball number 1. So bottom of 6 here. And the Royals now all of a sudden finding a way to get runs home. They've scored in the 4th, 5th, and 6th now to give themselves this 3-1 lead. That one misses 2-0. Pardon me, that is a strike on the outside corner. A frame job of all frame jobs by James Anderson behind home plate. Noah Roberts high and deep, and goodbye baseball! All dressed up and somewhere to go. Noah Roberts, a 2-run shot. Not bad for a junior call-up catcher, Noah Roberts. 2 home runs in this game, 3 RBIs, and the Royals lead 5-1. LaRue back to the plate now after going 0 for 2 in his first 2 appearances. We'll see if he can continue the onslaught to Roselle. That one misses for ball number 1. LaRue down the third baseline and foul. 1-1 now. The 1-1 from Roselle to LaRue, who pops that up to first, and that is out number 3, but not before the Royals tack on 3 more runs for a 5-1 lead here through 6 innings at Hastings Stadium. Back here at Hastings Stadium for the top of the 7th inning with Guelph now with a 5-1 lead. Brandon Cawley leading off for the Barrie Baycats, who have some work to do here in the top of the 7th, with Nelson Mercado still on the mound and dealing. 1-1 now, the count. That one misses in the dirt for ball number 2. The 2-1 here now. Oh, foul right behind home plate, and catcher's interference call. Noah Roberts getting a little overzealous there, and I mean, why not? You have 2 home runs in the game. All is forgiven, so the batter will take his base. So Brendan Cawley aboard.
Right fielder number 47, Brad McQuinn.
And that brings the number 8 hitter, Brad McQuinn, to the dish here, and maybe a chance for the Barrie Baycats to get something going here. The 8 hitter followed by Mike Dewin, and then top of the order stuff. So no outs if the bottom of the order can get their job done here. And Quinn looking to bunt, and Cawley not giving up on the run. Not sure if he realized it was immediately foul, but bursted to second base, and we'll have to retreat back to first, and we'll do it again. An 0-1 count now here, with no one gone here in the top of the 7th. Mercado obviously now well aware that Cawley is looking to run. Bunted up, and that is caught by Mercado, and fires over to first and turn 2. Got him! What a play by Nelson Mercado! On his toes, and then with his head on a swivel, gets over to Inserasano for the force. And any idea of a quick rally from the bottom part of the Baycats order is quickly snuffed out. First pitch, strike from Nelson, who has to be in the mid to high 70s in terms of his pitch count by now, but with a busy week for the Royals, 4 games is the first of 4. You would think that they're going to try to let Nelson run for as long as possible tonight. That one misses outside for a ball, so now 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike number 3, and that's how you get out of a quick inning for Nelson Mercado. Halfway through 7, Royals lead 5-1 here at Hastings Stadium. We are back at Hastings Stadium for the bottom of the 7th. We hope you got a good stretch between innings like we did, and Dalton Pompey ready to do it all over again here. Aiden Roselle still on the mound for the Baycats. Michael Cicchetto coming in at third base for Barrie. The first pitch of the at-bat, a strike called, and a lot of whats coming from the stands. That one missed by my standards, but that's why I'm up here and not down as an umpire. That one, strike number 2, as Pompey seems to chase that ball out of frustration. So 0-2 the count now, and Roselle looking to make quick work of the former Blue Jay and switch hitter. That one inside on Dalton, so ball number 1. So 1-2 the count here. Only one change for the Baycats defensively between the top and bottom of the 7th. That was Michael Cicchetto, who came in at third base to fill in for Brendan Cawley. And Pompey swings at that one and fouls it off to stay alive, and obviously defending that strike zone now because it's been a floating one all night long. Pompey cuts at that one. It flies foul and out of play. So their count remains the same, 1-2. The 1-2 delivered by Roselle, and Pompey again fouls it out of play. Actually, it comes back and might be playable. It's not. Cicchetto couldn't get there. Everyone seemed to think it was going well into the parking lot, but it changed direction mid-flight path and landed within the ballpark, but out of place. So 1-2 the count remains. The 1-2 from Roselle. That one poked to center, but caught. It looked like it was going to fall in there off the bat, but unfortunately, no. Jake Wilson there to make the catch for out number 1. Connor Morrow back to the plate now, as the top of the order will get their 4th go at it. Pompey now 1 for 3 with a walk. Morrow 1 for 2 also with a walk in there, this being his 4th trip to the plate tonight. Roselle deals the first pitch. Morrow swings at it. Chops it high, foul, and caught for out number 1 by Malik Williams over at first base. Out number 2, excuse me. And that will bring up Sean Riley, who's hitting third tonight. He is 0 for. A fly out to right, a fly out to left, and a pop out to first base in all 3 of his previous at-bats. So we'll see if Sean can find a way to get on base or better with a 5-1 lead here, 2/3 of the way through the bottom of the 7th. Riley takes that one for a ball. An aggressive swing at strike number 1 there as he fouls it off. Riley resets and makes his way back to the batter's box and steps in. Roselle waits and now has a pitch he likes and delivers. Riley swings and cuts at that one for strike number 2. Gets a hold of that one, Sean Riley, but not very deep into the outfield, and that will do it for the Royals in the bottom of the 7th. 1, 2, 3, they go, no runs scored. 5-1, the lead remains intact. We'll be back with the top of the 8th inning after this break. Eighth inning. Jake Wilson flies out on the first pitch he sees for out number 1. Quick work by Nelson Mercado here in the top of the 8th.
Left field number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle.
No. The first pitch gets away from Mercado against McGarry Doyle, so 1-0 the count now. The 1-0 is in there for a ball. Apparently misses somewhere, somehow, some way. Count now 2-0. Not sure where that one missed. Mercado now delivers. That one swung on and hit directly into the glove of Brandel LaRue for out number 2. So 2 quick outs for Nelson Mercado here in the top of the 8th inning, and that's something that you just love to see if you're Dino Ramel. Now Ryan Rio back to the plate. Rio 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and was stranded at third his last time on base for an eternity, and I'm pretty sure his timeshare is available for rent if anyone would like it over there at the hot corner. That one in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. That one bounces out of the glove of Roberts to even up the count at 1-1. That one hit hard by Rio and foul. So now 1-2. A beautiful night sky you see in our wide shot here after we get our cameras under control. Thanks a lot to Neil Sriwasa. So You can see how gorgeous the Guelph sky looks on the first night of summer. Nelson Marcado dealing in that first night of summer. 2-2 the count here in the top of the 8th with 2 gone, and that'll do it for 8. Nelson Marcado, punch him out, sit him down, and take a walk.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base.
Nelson is rolling. The Royals are rolling as well. 5-1 halfway through 8 innings. Chris Cox into the game for the Baycats here at the bottom of the 8th inning to face Malik Collymore, who will lead off the bottom of the 8th for the Royals. Also due up J.D. Williams and Ethan Hammond in this half inning. Cox delivers. Collymore takes for ball number 1. The 1-0 from Cox, and it is low for ball number 2. So Collymore probably just content to see if Cox can find the strike zone here in this at-bat. High and inside. 3-0 the count. That one, a 4-pitch walk issued by Chris Cox, who just entered this ball game and puts Malik Collymore aboard, and J.D. Williams to follow. So the Royals, should they hold on to this lead and get back in the win column, will head down to Welland on Thursday for going to Brantford Friday and coming home for their first evening game, a 7:30 start against Hamilton here at Hastings Stadium on Saturday night. Collymore takes strike 1 at his first pitch that he sees from Cox. Williams hit high and deep to left. That one tracked and caught a heck of a play for out number 1. That one had some promise off the bat, but a great job by McGarry Doyle out there in left to take it away from J.D. Williams and record the first out of the bottom of the 8th here. Ethan Hammond back to the plate now. Hammond at the plate. Collymore at first. 1 out. Cox checks Collymore and will throw over. Half-heartedly, almost more of a attempt to keep Collymore honest and nearby. And now the delivery. That one outside, and maybe there a strike called with the pitch coming in over the plate in the other batter's box. So the count now 0-1. Somehow, some way, found the strike zone. That one misses, and it seemed to be closer. And all the umpires sitting in the Hastings Stadium crowd share their displeasure. However, the count now even at 1. That one in the dirt for ball 2. The 2-1 from Cox as he peeks over at Collymore at first and throws over. Blake Williams standing right on the bag for the Baycats, so Collymore likely not planning on going anywhere here. Just probably trying to hop on it the minute the ball is hit to avoid the double play. 2-1 the count. Hammond chops one to short, or to second rather. Collymore had to dodge it, but still finds his way to second base. So Hammond out, and Collymore on to second. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As Justin Interessano comes back to the plate for the 4th time tonight. He's 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Interessano now, first time he'll be facing Cox. Collymore out at second with a generous lead and a generous strike call for strike number 1 from James Lyles. Now it's 1, and now 1-1. One and one to count to Interessano with Collymore out at second. Cox on the mound for the Baycats. That one bounces and gets away from Anderson behind home plate, and Collymore will trot to third. And that will be scored a passed ball. And the count now 2-2. Count is 1-2 now. Interessano pokes one down in the middle of the infield, and that will be an RBI single for Justin Interessano as Collymore crosses home to make it 6-1. Noah Roberts, who has 2 home runs in this game, comes back to the plate looking for the hat trick. That one falls in there for strike number one. A good pitch there from Chris Cox for the Baycats to get ahead in the count. That one also called a strike, and that strike zone might be expanding here in the bottom of the eighth inning with a 6-1 lead. We shall see. 0-2 the count. Cox ahead of Roberts. That one outside for a ball. That one comes inside on Roberts for a 2-2 count now. So 2-2 the count, 2 out. Justin Terrasano standing at first base. And a 5-run lead for the Royals. Cox checks and delivers. That one misses high and outside. Count now full. Count is full now, and the delivery misses. So Noah Roberts, a fantastic night at the plate. He gets himself aboard by way of walk, and now the Royals with 2 men on and 2 out. And Brando LaRue back to the plate again. LaRue 0 for 3 in this ball game, but will look to turn that around. That one misses high for ball number 1. LaRue ahead in the count 1-0 against Cox. Fouls that one straight back. So the count now even 1-1. And we are about 2 hours and 17 minutes into this ball game. Much quicker than last Tuesday night against the Welland Jackfish, I believe. Oh, that one inside and hit LaRue somewhere. Not quite sure where it hit him, but it made a noise and deflected, but appears to be no worse for the wear, and he's not taking his base. Count remains at 2 or the count is now 2-1. Drew fouls that one back. So 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 count for Brando LaRue. First base open. Roberts at second and Terrasano at third, 90 feet from home. Cox delivering and missing on the outside part of the plate. The count now full. 3-2 from Cox. Waiting for LaRue to set, and does. Swung on and hit high, but not deep. And that will do it for the Royals in the bottom of the 8th. They tack one more on. So a 6-1 lead headed into the top of the 9th inning from Hastings Stadium. back at Hastings Stadium and 3 outs away for Nelson Mercado as Malik Williams makes his way to the plate for the Barrie Baycats. Mercado came into this game in the second inning after Darren Shred, as planned, opened up the game for 3 quick outs, and Mercado has been near flawless since. First one low and misses for ball number 1. The 1-0 for Mercado. Misses nowhere for strike number 2. Mercado, the beneficiary of a favorable strike call, and another one finds the zone for strike number 2. So the 1-2 for Mercado, who is looking to get out of here fairly unscathed. That one, strike number 3, tipped and caught. Robertson Mercado, who had such issues 1 week ago, seemed to have ironed those ones out. James Anderson now to the plate with 1 gone here and a 5-run deficit for Barrie to try to erase. They're going to need everything they have left, and it starts with James Anderson. One misses the zone, and the glove of Robertson bounces in behind home plate for ball number 1. The 1-0 in there for a strike. The 1-1 swung on by Anderson. Hit high, but not deep at all. Williams has an eye on it, makes the catch for out number 2. And that will bring Owen Jansen back to the plate for what might be the final batter of the evening. So 2 out here, and Nelson Mercado 1 out away from what could only be described as his best game of the season. One misses on the outside for ball number 1. One 0 in there for a strike. 1-1 the count now. The 1-1 delivered, swung on and hit high. Into left field and caught by Ethan Hammond. Ball game over. Royals win 6-1. What a fantastic showing from Nelson Mercado on the mound. And that has to give the Royals all bunches of confidence back in the win column after a 3-game skid comes to an end tonight. And what a time to get your confidence back for Guelph. The first of 4 games this week. Next up in Welland to face the Jackfish on Thursday. You can catch it on IBL.ca. We will be back on the air on Saturday night when the Royals return home to play host to the Hamilton Cardinals. From everyone here at Hastings Stadium, I'm Scott Fraser saying thank you and good night.